What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Home Builder Marketing Podcast. It's myself, Seth Van Daele, with my co-host, Nicholas Cormier. And today we are joined by another Nick. Nick, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Nick Peret. I've been working with contractors for over a decade.
Let's go.
We're here to make some plays and hopefully teach you guys some things.
Let's go,
Let's
man.
go.
Awesome. So we were just talking a lot about AI before we press play. Tell me, what do you got going on? How have you been using AI to help contractors?
So I had two other businesses that were serving contractors that I ran for about 6 years, right?
Okay.
And I ended up selling ownership in those, trying to solve the software implementation problem. 70% of contractors fail at implementing their software. So if you have a room of 100 people, 70 of those people have not got it right, which is crazy. So I wanted to solve this massive problem. So in that gap, what gets launched? ChatGPT 3. And I have time on my hands for the first time in many years. So I was going deep with it, right? And like, this is new. This is when 3 launched. And I'm telling my wife or family, everybody, all my friends, this is about to change the world. And they're like, who is this lunatic in this transition era of his life right now? And since then, I've been spending every day, all day on AI, right? And of course, it just continues to get better and better. But when I'm looking at business and scaling business, my first love was automation, right? So we would have hundreds of contractors, right? And we could onboard a bunch at once. And we got to the point where we were automating the entire process of onboarding, providing their services. All we were really doing was meeting with them monthly and responding to them.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it was doing all the heavy lifting. So I'm doing the same thing with AI now. It's just more advanced, right? There's just more possibilities depending on what
You're able to automate more. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. In a better way, right? A more specific, customized way. And so whatever we're doing implementation for Better Boss, everything that we do internally is done through AI. Now, it's not that easy, right? Of course, I put in thousands of hours learning AI, and I had to dial in our processes first, right? And then you wrap that bad boy up in AI. It's game on.
I like to say that AI is like money. Like with money, if you have a bad person, money just makes that person even more bad. You have a good person, makes that good person even better. With AI,
100%.
if you have a stupid person using AI, it just makes them stupider. They just do more of it. And if you have somebody smart using AI, you're going to get, that smart person is going to be able to produce more. So that's
100%.
awesome. Yeah.
If I was going into like a job interview right now, I'd be coming in as Nick and then my agent as well, right? And being like, hey, I could be 10 times more productive than your other candidates because of me and my agent.
And this is what I've trained my agent to do, and this is what I've done in the past. Yeah, that's a great insight.
Because if you put thousands of hours into your agent, then it works how you want it to. Then it can be an intelligent agent that does do the job 100%, and it can buy back everybody's time. Just one use case that I saw like literally last week on a demo is this is an older guy. He's been in business like 30 years, and he's spending all his time quoting, and he's on the Home Depot website pulling prices and going back and forth. And I was like, you're really doing that? And then I said, and then right on the call, I just jumped on to Claude, and I was just like, download the account, pay the $28. I was like, give it a go. But see, here's the thing. He won on there, and it was like 70% correct. But see, he doesn't have a bot that's trained, where if it's trained, now it actually has the guardrails to do what you want and do what you want. It has the language where if, a lot of people get stuck because they don't even personally know what words to use to actually get to the outcome.
It takes practice, just like anything else. It takes repetition, just like everything else. It's not magic beans. But like, as we're doing this right now, I have Claude running, and it's exporting a client of ours, the data from Job Nimbus, so that we can import it into JobTread, right? And it already has all the customers' jobs, notes, everything in the CSV, but then it also has the images, the PDFs, the docs, all that good stuff in organized folders in Google Drive for me.
Isn't it just nuts? Yeah. And then the more you build on top of it.
That would take you that would
Yeah.
take you like 100 hours, because sometimes they put these images and these docs like in a
Mm.
hidden spot, and you have to do like one by one. It's insane. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
would take data transfer takes forever.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah.
It's nuts. What we're setting up with our Sightline product is the ability for now with that JobTread has an MCP. Well, this was all possible before that too, but what essentially it can do is it can pull historical context from previous quotes that have been created, and it can then from a set of drawings literally create an entire like project proposal with costs and timelines from all the previous project data. It can pull all that context, something that would have taken a contractor 40, 50, 60 hours, and it can do in 5-10 minutes, literally just from a set of drawings. It's
the
insane.
MCP is unbelievable, right? I've been having a lot of fun with that for sure.
Yeah.
Biggest thing I'll say with a situation like that, that's the dream world. That's where you want to get to. Just be careful, right? Like make sure you kind of take it in bite-sized chunks. So like if
don't
you
blindly
look at
trust
historic like rates and prices and stuff like that by square foot or whatever it is, right? Do that step first. Get that all set up, right? Then have it make you like a cost group that's set up with the right cost codes, the right cost margin, all that good stuff, and then have it access and use those cost groups to do that for you, right? And like for example, for us, the way we're using it is basically we set up a bunch of skills, right, that now narrowed down with that connector. But as soon as we get done with like a 2-hour kickoff call, right, it takes that transcript, it takes everything in Drive, and then it uses the MCP to do a complete audit of all the deliverables that we have for them. Right.
Nuts.
And then from that, it builds a schedule directly in our JobTread and Better Boss. Right. And then once the schedule is done, we just start to work from the schedule. So then continue in the chat. It's like, all right, let's start with cost codes. All right, let's go to custom fields. And then it checks off the schedule for us as we go and everything. I mean, it's crazy.
Man. It's so nuts. Yeah. So let's talk some actionables right now, Nick. Give me your top 3 automations that, say a high-end remodeler, custom home builder that's watching this podcast right now can like learn and go and just like talk to their Claude and build out, that's going to buy back some time for them.
Yeah, for sure. So basically we work with specifically JobTread users, right? But I'm very familiar with all types of contractors no matter what platform they're on. And so I always say start with process mapping. I know it's so boring, it's so mundane, it's so nitty gritty. People honestly get pissed at me when we do it on the call a little bit because they're like, why is he getting so deep into this? But like you definitely want to start with the process map. Lead comes in. All right, what are the potential lead sources? What questions do we need to ask? What info do we need to gather? Right? What tasks have to be done? What communication internally and externally has to be done? Right? And you go through each one of those steps in as fine detail as possible. Right? For me, I like to do it on like a Zoom call recorded with my team. And then from there, you can just have Claude do an HTML mind map of it. Right? Now you have a visual. Right? And so now all of a sudden you break it down. And you're like, well, what if we created like a workflow here? As soon as this job or this document gets approved, it moves it to the next stage, right? And then it imports a task template, assigns the right people, and sends this communication internally and externally, right? You start to find where those are. And so with a tool like JobTread, what I like to do, or even like Zapier, there's if this happens, then this happens. So always start with like the major trigger options. So if a job is created or updated, right? Or if a document is created or updated. And then what I like to do is just use the filter system. You can filter by the different statuses or stages in your pipeline or certain situations based off the document. And then you have the trigger afterwards, right? Where it has the communication, that movement in the pipeline, all that good stuff, right? But you have all those automations in one now. And you're just pulling that from the process map that you have. Because automations is one of those like buzzwords. They've heard it at every conference. You know what I mean? Like it's over and over. They know they have to do it, but it's so complex. We just got to dumb it down, right? If this happens, then this happens, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Nick, you got something else?
At the moment, I mean, there's lots of things that we could talk about. The one thing,
Nick? Hit me.
Yeah. What I would say is when I see most people who use AI at the moment, they get incredibly stuck. Like
Yeah.
like as an example, my brother owns a contracting business, or he's just starting up a new one here now, and he was like, "Oh, look, this website I built." I was like, "That's cool. Like, now what are you gonna do with it?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's why I need your help." I was like, "All right." So you spent 5 minutes and made a draft, and you like it. Maybe you spend
Well,
an
you
hour
guys
on
are
it.
promoting AI websites on your social media content. I've seen that you guys have been leaning into it, kind of, right?
Mhm.
Because it's the same thing with us, right? You got to think, like, I built our website with Claude, but it still took me forever, and like it was still, you know what I mean? Like, it's a
Yeah.
process. And I used to
Yeah.
build websites 10 years ago or whatever, right? So it's not
Yep.
an easy thing. You still have all the complexities. So JobTread releases this MCP. I can add custom fields, like custom views, dashboards, right? They can do it themselves, right? But it's the process, it's the strategy, it's the approach, it's the fine details. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you're an expert at what you do. It's just because AI is there doesn't mean that you can just be a magician and do everything you want. You still have to have some kind of skill set to make it happen, and you have to practice your craft. For me, I think I've worked 10 times harder the last 4 years, but I knew this was an opportunity, right? And so now it's like,
Yeah.
obviously it's made me more productive, more skilled, everything like that, but I put in the work.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts. If you
I
want to
couldn't
win
have
over
said
the
that
next few
better
years,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to win over the next few years, you better put in that time now, and don't act like you can get those magic beans that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. That's like what I said earlier. Like, for instance, if Bobby's trying to build a website and he doesn't understand how to build a website, but AI is doing it for him, that website isn't going to turn out very great because he doesn't know all the finer details. He doesn't know that there should be a flow to the copy. And like, if you don't
100%.
give the
Words and
AI
days.
direction, yeah, exactly. If you don't give it the
Yeah.
direction and the exact specifics, it's not going to produce what's actually going to perform in the market. Right?
Yeah.
No, there's no way. And then the SEO side of it, right? What
Well,
about
that's a
all
whole
that?
other side.
Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, how many components are there of SEO? Like,
So
it's
many.
Yeah.
insane. On page, off page, right? Like, you can go on and on. So you still have to be an expert in your space, and this is a chance to shine even more.
Yeah.
100%.
agree.
Yeah. There's kind of this perspective that, like, before, what was the gap to building a website? Not that much, like, really, to be honest, because there's like Squarespace, Wix, and you could get a one-click website if you want. You know what I mean? You pay whatever price. And so, but the barrier to like figure out how to get one launched was like, what, maybe 10 hours? You could figure out how to do it in 10 hours. Most people probably
On
could.
Squarespace.
But now on Squarespace, but and if you're like, you should be able to get it launched faster if you're like a little tech savvy. But now the barrier of entry with AI is way, way wider, because like, if you spend 100 hours realistically learning about it, that's still nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
How many hours have
and
you guys
so
put into websites? You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, thousands easily.
There's always going to be a competitive advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
I still think even the job market, like, there was points where it's like you go into the abyss and you're a little scared of like, what the hell is the future going to look like? And then you start to kind of slow down and you start to realize if you're talented and you're valuable, there's always going to be a need for you in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
100%.
realize everybody's just as lost as you. It's
Nobody
like
knows what they're doing.
nobody knows what they're doing. Literally, there's like the 1% of the 1%, but like those guys were already doing like crazy things with like they already were creating apps and coding stuff, and now they're just doing it faster with AI. And like, yeah,
100%.
it looks scary when you look at it. When you look at Claude, and you're like, dude, like this guy created like 5 different apps, and they're already published on the App Store. And he did it within a month, and it's like, well, that guy probably would have already created an app. Or, exactly. And do they work? Exactly. All these things, right? And so, yeah.
And like, I'll tell you this, it's like I had a developer in my last company and he's been helping us out now again. And dude, the amount of hours that I put in, like, I thought I'd make some like ground on him. He's a beast, right? He's an engineer. Dude, he still swamps me, dude. And I'm like, dude, I'm moving fast. I'm going quick. I'm getting but getting the job done, functional, he still beats me. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's just how it rolls. Yeah. And now a lot of people, there's like, I'm seeing all these jobs that people are posting that people to come and clean up their vibe coded apps. So basically, they're hiring a real coder that understands coding to come in and clean up what the AI made and made sure that it's like
So
actually legit.
I'll tell you what happens in those environments, because I feel like I've been there myself almost a little bit. They say, you actually structured it completely wrong. We want the foundation to actually be like this, and they almost
Yeah.
start from scratch and just kind of take the idea, right? It's
Yeah.
like an MVP in a way, what you're making on Claude a lot of the times, right?
Mhm.
That you're not actually putting out to the public, but you're kind of testing yourself and trying to get that idea together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You still got a ways to go to release it to the public and get mass usership for sure.
100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
100,000% agree. Yeah. So let's go back more into some actionables. So
Yeah.
The average viewer of this podcast is like custom home builder remodeler that's doing roughly about like 500,000 to $5 million in revenue. Kind of, it's a little bit of a wider range, and they're just looking to improve themselves. Some people are following for AI, some people are following for marketing. What would you say is like an actionable that from everything that you're doing with your company that you can give to that person that's going to
So
add value?
give me a persona. Yeah, I know you know a persona. Give me an exact persona here. Give me a revenue. Give me where they're at, what they got set up. Give me a persona. I'll work with that. I like that play.
Okay. Custom home builder, Utah. They're living in Salt Lake City. They're doing 5 custom homes a year. They got 3 employees. Everything just feels disorganized, and they can't find a way to scale past 10 because they just feel like all their time is being eaten up with like sending proposals and like nobody's biting on them, and they feel like they're wasting their time on the wrong things.
Do they have an operating system? Do they
No.
have like a JobTread or anything like that?
Yeah, they have JobTread, but it's like basic setup.
Basic setup. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm them. I'm gonna get in their shoes. So now what I'm doing, the first thing is I'm going boring. I'm going SOPs, processes, right? Biggest thing, anything I can do to template and make everything as rinse and repeat as possible and dumb down as possible, right? Like a lot of people say, oh, it's different all the time. Well, how can we make some consistency, right? How can we create some consistency? There's going to be custom components, but we need consistent rinse and repeat processes. That's the value of the business, right? That's how you're eventually going to get out of it. And that's how you're going to make it scalable, right? So I'm going back to that call. I'm getting my 3 team members. I'm recording this call, and we're talking about a new lead coming in all the way to close, and we're going fine detail. I'm taking that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, give it to Claude, create that mind map. Now I'm using that as my visuals, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Better Boss, go look at all those deliverables that we have in our implementation. I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to give that to Claude, and I'm going to connect my MCP and have it do an audit of everything that sees in my account and the call transcript, right? And then I'm going to start at the top, the very basics, the cost codes, the custom fields, right? Work my way through dashboards and estimating templates. Go through that whole thing, right? Once it's actually built out, rinse and repeat, right? Now I'm going to be like, how can I use AI to do these processes? How can I wrap in AI where maybe I don't even have to go into my JobTread now because it's all set up, right? Can I be with the client, have plans, all this kind of stuff, right? Upload it to my Claude right then and there. Say, hey, go grab that cost group, start to build this out, put it together, and build this proposal for me, right? Like on the spot. And then at that point, when I'm moving and grooving, dude, I'm just talking to Claude to do everything in my JobTread. Hey, throw in this job schedule, send this customer, this message, say we're running a little bit of late, blah, blah, blah. Everything I'm doing from there. But it starts with the boring, mundane stuff that nobody wants to do because we want to get sexy with AI right off the bat, right? But there's levels to this, right? So if you skip that foundation, that AI is going to be literally scaling an absolute mess, right? Like a lot of people don't have job costing or a really good idea of their margins and how much they're making per job and all that kind of stuff. Their estimates are taking way too long. You can solve all this stuff, but you have to start with the foundations, and then AI will make everything easier for you.
Agreed.
So that's what I'd be doing. And then I think, when I'm a smaller, I'm hunting, right? Like I'm hunting, right? I want to be investing in my digital presence for sure, right? Like I want a nice website, and if I can't afford a lot, maybe even just one page, whatever I can get where it looks good and you play the part, right?
Yep.
And then as I grow, whatever I can afford, right? But then obviously more pages, you're going to be optimizing online better, all that good stuff. Every single customer I'm getting a video testimonial, I'm getting pictures that are professionally shot and done. I'm getting a review on Google and all, like, whatever directories you care about. I'm building that up, right? And then with that too, I'm building out a portfolio to present to people, right? Like, I want to show the story. Like, who is my ideal client? I'm going to show them I do that work, right? And I'll be presenting that. And so for me, it's like, obviously keep investing on digital. Like, that's huge. You want to win online. That's a major thing. But when I'm smaller, I'm definitely doing some grind hustle work, right? Sometimes I'm prospecting, sometimes, whatever you can do to create more relationships that are either partners that can influence you and feed you business, or just getting more people by, hustle. Because in the beginning, I always hustle, right? Like, I invest in digital marketing for sure. But in the beginning, I'm usually doing some of it myself, and then I'm hustling, and then I'll
showing up to networking groups.
100%.
Content,
Dude,
all that
DMs
kind of
I've
hustle.
Sent, unfortunately, in my early days, too many DMs.
Let's go.
You know what's wild? To talk about the DMs is a little off topic, but I sent so many DMs like 5 years ago that somehow in the last like 2 months, I've came across people who now, like, my life's changed in many ways, and it's like, hey, they send me a text like, hey, what's your number? Hey, here's my number. And then they text me, and then I get it, and I had saved all my like texts over history, right? And then I see their in the phone. I'm like, bro, you iced me 5 years ago.
You left me hanging, bro. You left me hanging, dude.
That's hilarious.
I mean, Facebook, bro, dude. Facebook, though, dude. Facebook is absolutely money, though, dude. And like, if you're a home builder, to join all those local groups, like, for me, I made a ton of money in Facebook groups, just always posting in there, right? And to go community heavy, right? Like, you could do even podcast content with other like local businesses, dude. You can,
realtors, architectures,
anything, right? Like, anybody who could have value to a homeowner. And then, like, keeping a community niche is really good too, because then you join all those Facebook groups, you keep sharing in there, they keep seeing you, right? Like, they keep seeing your face. They start to like get a little curious and start to build a little bit of relationship with you.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, you got to grind in those early days for sure. If you're under,
there's no cheating it.
No, there's not. You can't use AI to, scale your business to 10 million as a custom home builder. It just doesn't work that way. It'll help you buy back your time so that you have more time to spend on the 20% of the things creating the 80% of the income, but it will not go and find those deals for you.
Dude, 95% of people just don't want to deal with that beginning stages, though. Because I've done 3 businesses. Every time I'm like, dude, I'm smarter, I have more experience, it's gonna be easier. Dude, it's always hard in the beginning, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to earn those stripes.
You do. That's so true. Yeah, you can't just jump in and just all of a sudden just be doing 10 builds a year. It's just not that easy. Unless you're like, your dad was a builder and he hands his whole business over to you and you get, anyway.
Yeah.
But that's, no, it's not happening. Nick, you got anything else, brother?
I mean, so what are you guys thinking with AI on your marketing side? Is it helping you guys quite a bit? Like, how you guys kind of going about that?
Dude, there's lots that we've been doing. Yeah. You want to answer, Nick?
Yeah, I would say like how it is on the marketing front. It's definitely like amazing for us utilizing the AI. How do I say it? It's definitely in many ways like people are getting some, like, I would say like 10% of our clients are like overly confident with AI, where, they are like, hey, this will take your guys' job. But like, actually though, like, there is like 10% that is like that is totally like, hey, I'm just gonna try running it on Manus, run all my ads, it'll do all the graphics, right? So like, there's like that little aspect. But what I'm finding now, I don't know if it's just because it's May 1st or the last like week, we've had so many requests where people just straight up don't know. Like, it's like they've been actually living under a rock. It's like, okay, what do you have? They're like, I got this post. The last one was in 2018, and I'm just trying to start my marketing up again. And I'm like, wow, have you ever ran ads? And they're like, nope. And I'm like, wow, you're like there, but there's
So far behind.
hundreds of thousands of companies who are in this zone where, I was on a presentation there, or I was on a training yesterday, and they said only 6% of companies are utilizing AI. And oh my gosh, only 6%?
It's crazy.
If that number is accurate, that's wild.
We just went to a baby shower, dude, and two of the husbands that are like my age, they knew nothing about AI, and they have a great job, right? Corporate job, business job, and that blew my mind, right? Like, that blew my mind. And the way I'm looking, like, with you guys, right? Like, you still have to have a marketing strategy and skill set, which majority of them don't have, and you have to have the time or some kind of commitment, right, to be able to make this stuff happen. Which is not. And then it's like, when I'm looking at you guys too, it's like, when you guys take your knowledge and then you add in AI, you can only, like, you can provide better value, more, you know what I mean? Like, you can do, you guys can get better, and so, like, why wouldn't you want that? Right. And so, like, that's what we've been leaning into it. It's like, we'll connect your MCP, we'll teach you how to use it. Right. But, like, people have been more overwhelmed, I would say, with the MCP than like excited. I would say about 90% of them have been overwhelmed. Right. Wow. And it's because they still don't have their setup right. And now it's like, well, now AI too. So now it's just like, so there's always going to be value. Always going to be value. And I like that you guys are leaning into it. Like, I saw your video, Nicholas. Like, what made you post that video? Like, hey, I'm making this website with AI. Check this out. Like, you guys are leaning into it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's because, like, that's where things are going. And it's like, at the end of the day, right now I'm on a mission to post every day on YouTube, like a long form. And like, lots of times I'll just jump on Loom and I'll just make a, even if I get one viewer, shit, that's good for me.
100%. No, but it's not about the amount of views, dude. It's about the right views.
Exactly. And so, but yeah, leaning into it, because a lot of people who don't have the money, well, they have time to go and do the things. And so if I think something's interesting or saves me time or like makes, helps me make more money, then I'm definitely happy to share it. Like, us build, like, there's some people where definitely they should build themselves a website if they think that's the journey they want to go. All I know is that we can give them clarity 100%. If they don't have the time, we can definitely build it. But then here's the thing, we are professionals. So like, if they build it, I've noticed, they miss all their title tags. They have no favicon, and it's like, bro, I know, go to work, because you never built one.
My buddy literally he's bootstrapping a contracting business in California, right? And so he's just hustling it out, right? So we did a Zoom call, man, and he's like, I just need like a simple one pager, right? Blah blah blah. So I created the HTML file and I gave it to him.
Yeah.
Well, where do I put it, right? Well, how do I do the domain? How do I connect the domain? Well, you need CMS too. What is that? Well, you know what I mean? So like, there's so many freaking steps to it, right? That there's a lot to it. There's a lot, and something you don't mess up is your online presence.
Yeah. Honestly, though, Manus makes it so easy, dude. Like, you can use Manus and you can ship an entire website onto a live domain in like less than 30 minutes, probably less than 15 if you just kind of.
Average person could do it though, because it's like sometimes I underplay like how complicated it is, right? Because
they make it pretty easy, dude. Like, you literally, I don't know if you have Whisper Flow, but you just talk into it, and it's like, yeah, you just talk into it. I mean, the average person probably doesn't have Whisper Flow. If you don't, go look into it. It'll buy you so much time back. But you literally just do a prompt. Hey, I'm a custom home builder. This is what I'm doing. This is where I serve. And it'll go and generate the images, and then you can actually buy the domain through Manus, so you don't have to worry about HTML file and hosting and none of that. All happens on Manus, and so you literally just hit connect domain, buy the domain you want, and then it just connects it to it. And it's like already mobile optimized, everything's done. But that's like the Squarespace of websites. It's not going to rank on Google. It's not going to get indexed on Google. And so the best thing you can do is take that, if you know what you're really doing, and put it onto WordPress. And we built a custom plugin that just converts it into an Elementor file and then allows us to do proper SEO work on the back end with the Manus design. But for the average person that doesn't the average person that doesn't need SEO and they're just kind of like bootstrapping like your friend, like Manus could be their best friend.
Oh yeah.
I agree that you could do it in 30 minutes, but it would take the average person 10 hours. Only reason why I say that is because I look back
Prompting's
when I
not
first
that
started.
easy.
It's true. Yeah, prompting is
Yeah. Because you've used thousands of hours on prompting already. Boom, you got good flow. But I've watched people go on there and I'm like, okay, what do you want the outcome to be? And they type it in there and I'm like, that's not the outcome. Tell me the outcome and then put some detail in there. And then, it's definitely, this is a good way to look at it. If you can manage a team of people efficiently and have them work efficiently on the right tasks, you'll be efficient using AI. If you're a good 100%. Manager, you'll be a good person using AI agents. But if you're a lazy manager, as an example, you're going to be also terrible with AI agents because you don't even know how to manage people if you got them anyways. You know what I mean? If that even makes sense.
Because with the people, you're always blaming them, right? And then you're just going to be blaming the AI. That's going to be what's going to happen. Oh, the fucking AI.
Can't fix that.
Oh, the people suck, right? It's we all know those people.
Yeah. That's 100%.
That's exactly it, dude. Exists. People don't like to take accountability, do they?
No, dude, nobody does.
Hey, can you tell me about your service at Better Boss, the AI implementation? Because one thing that's really true across the board in home building and construction is, even if a company has their sales and marketing dialed in, you just mentioned the implementation takes forever. JobTread itself, if somebody logs on and takes it bare bones, again, it's a daunting, probably 100 hours of learning in front of them. So when I saw that, I was like, that's sick. You have the AI implementation, 10K, and you help wrap it in Claude so that these people can run their business. And I just would love if you could explain what that actually looks like, because 10K is actually a very cheap price when you consider that's probably going to replace 20 hours a day worth of actual human time.
Yeah, for real. I mean, of all things that I've done in my career, I think this is the biggest value potential for our clients for sure that we've done, and ROI, whether it's time, money, you kind of name it. And when you're looking at it solving this problem, like I said, 70% of contractors fail implementing the software the right way, right? And you're basically making your software a liability rather than an asset, right? And every time you change and you do it wrong again, the culture gets more and more mad and less trust, and you lose their trust, right? And so we like to do it the right way and then train the team how to do it the right way and make sure that they can feel those benefits right off the bat. So whenever I pay anybody for a service, I want my time back. So that's the way we try to make it, right? So we have a 2-hour kickoff call, an hour midway, an hour final, and then we do a demo test run throughout the entire process and system where we take a test job. Outside of that, they don't have to put any time into it, right? So basically what we do is we do a kickoff call and we have them take that transcript, put it in the drive, and then any kind of documentations. They always have golden spreadsheets. I call them the golden goose, right? Where it's we work everything out of these spreadsheets or whatever it is, right? So we take all that information, we put it in a drive, and then we take the MCP and we connect Claude to their JobTread account, right? And then basically we build out your entire system, all the bells and whistles, the foundational stuff like cost codes, you kind of name it. So basically what we do is we take all that, it's going to complete an audit on your system, right? And then we start at the top and we work through building out their cost codes, their custom fields, their schedule templates, their estimating templates, their dashboards, their workflows, you name it, we do it, right? And we do the entire process with Claude, right? And at the end, when we're training them, they already have their AI tool connected. They already have the system completely built out, right, and customized based off of their workflows and processes and organization, because everyone's so much different, right? And that's why you can't really fully template it out. And everybody has certain nuances that they care about, right? So afterwards, then we actually train them how to speak to their AI, right? And use what we built out in the system for it. So it's one of those things where you're looking at private equity coming into the trades so much now, right? Like that's the big push. What are they buying, right? They want to buy something that doesn't need you, and it has an operating system. That's what they're buying, right? And people just can't figure it out, right? But this is the stuff that's so important to building a valuable business. Like I can't stress that enough. And being able to scale. If you can't make stuff rinse and repeat, you're not going to be able to scale, right? And so you talk about people when they scale, all of a sudden the profits go down, right? So we want to try to do things like this to keep overhead as low as can be, right? For me, I'm like, dude, when we're building out teams, I've always had small teams, but we'd have hundreds of clients because I spend, 10, 15, 20 grand a month on technology, automation stuff, right? So for me, if you invest that stuff, it seems like a lot. And I'm not saying that's what you have to get to. That's just my preference, right? You can make it a super profitable, scalable organization that people will be like, how the hell are you getting that much done with just this many people?
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. How many companies have you helped so far with the AI implementation?
So the AI stuff is pretty new, right? So I really haven't been focused too much on that. We use it all internally. And then basically once they released the MCP, we just started adding it in, right? Now I'm going to like the advanced boot camp next week at Dallas at JobTread.
Oh yeah.
I mean, talking a lot for like 4 hours and we're going into the deep AI stuff, right?
Love
but
it.
The one thing I do stress with that, and the reason why I wasn't focusing on it, because before that MCP, I didn't want to just throw a bunch of outside AI processes and just like slop it on, because people struggle with this, right? What were people who can't like log in the beginning, right? So for me, like I think it's a disservice if I don't focus on the essentials, right? Like the foundation of their business, and then go from there.
Love it. Okay. Gotcha, man. Super cool. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Nick. It's been a pleasure having you on here.
Hey, I got another 2 hours, man. I can just stay here. I'll skip my happy hour, dude. I'll just I'll do get not joking.
What's one thing you'd love to leave the audience with?
I mean, obviously the AI thing's a big push, right? But I would say things are going to change a lot over the next few years. I think this is the time to shine. This is the time to go make that money, right? To seize this opportunity, right? And gain a massive advantage over your competitors and win like you never have before that opportunity gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Like think about the first people on social media, right? All of a sudden they have a massive following. Also now it's harder to get a following like that, right? Be a pioneer, right? Dip your toes in the water.
This is the new .com
Drink
era.
the Kool-Aid. You got to drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid. This is no joke.
Seriously.
This is no joke.
Yeah. It is a game changer for sure. Man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you hopping on here. It's been some good insight.
Absolutely.
Nick, you have anything else you want to say?
Nick is a pretty good name, and me and Nick, we found out last time we're Nick squared, and we became friends for life.
Friends for life, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cool.
To Thailand.
Hey, well, we'll bring you on the next retreat. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, learn more about you, where's the best place they can find more info?
Better-boss.ai. Better-boss.ai.
Okay, wonderful. And on social media, you got a pretty good YouTube presence.
Yeah, I like YouTube at Better Boss.
Okay, at Better Boss, and you got lots of videos talking about what you figured out with Claude and with the JobTread MCP, and lots of stuff on there for people to learn more about you, right?
Yep, I got about 700 plus, baby.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening in on this amazing podcast where we were joined by Nick. I don't have anything else to say, so I appreciate everybody for listening in. Thank you.
Let's go.
Bye.